Good evening, dear guests. So, I'm Anna from MP Lab, Art Research Laboratory Liepāja, and together with E-Lab, Electronic Art and Media Center, we are hosting this event, iWEEK, which is International New Media Art Week in Liepāja. And tonight we are going to have the second talk and show presentations. And tonight the speakers will present their organizations who are producing some socially involving or technology-based or art-based projects in Liepāja, and share their experience how it is to produce like big events in a small town. So, and the first speaker will be Roberts Grundmanis from Drone Arena Liepāja, called Dragonfly.
Thank you, Anna. Hello. There we go. I hope this works. So good evening. I'm Robert, as Anna told. I'm from Dragonfly. And let's talk drones. When I say a drone, what comes to mind? Can you tell me?
Sun O.
Pardon?
Sun O.
All right. What else? What else? Tell me. What do you think about drones in general?
Annoying flying stuff.
Annoying flying stuff. All right. Anything else?
Singularity.
Singularity. All right. Moving towards new media. Usually, when I ask this question, people tell me, so there are like aerial drones, aerial filming, drones on with cameras flying everywhere, and so on. But tonight I want to talk about different types of drones that are not as well recognized here in Latvia, but they're recognized elsewhere. And I want to show you a brief video, and then we'll see if you want sound, but you know. So, who has seen this video? Anyone? No. This video was posted 2 years ago, and this is drone racing in the woods. What do you think the maximum speed of this drone is? 40, 50. From looking at the video, it might be even less than that, right? But now, after 2 years, the industry has evolved a little bit, and this is a short video of this year's event held in the United States.
For the Ohio crash site, 12 drone racing pilots will take on a force from another world against the fastest competitors they have ever faced.
This is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's the craziest shot ever.
Right. So in general, as you can see, the Americans have done it again. They've made a huge sport and a huge entertainment business around such a small thing. So what do you think the maximum speed of these drones are?
Looks very fast.
Looks very fast. So if the previous video was about 30, 40, what do you think about these?
80.
80?
100.
100? Anyone else want to say more? The speed of these drones is up to 170 kilometers per hour. And remember that it's just 25 centimeters from motor to motor, so about this big. So their biggest challenge and our biggest challenge as working in this industry is to make this sport more entertaining to watch. Because imagine if this small object flies past you at 170 kilometers per hour. It's very interesting, right? There it was. So what are we doing and what we want to do next? Since the first video and up to the next one, there have been more than 5 international drone racing leagues established. These are just a couple of examples, and the video you saw was from Drone Racing League in America. There's another one that calls itself International Drone Racing Association, and there's also one in Europe. This year in October, there was the first ever European Championship held in Spain, Ibiza, for drone racing pilots from Europe. This is a track that was made in Dubai. They made the first World Drone Prix, or Drone Prix. The grand prize in this race and this event was $1 million. A lot of money, right? So this is the track, as you can see. Oh, can I point? Yeah. As you can see, there's a track, and the drone pilots cannot fly out of this track because there are sensors here. And if they fly out of this track, they get penalty and extra seconds added to their time. And this is the track in general. Does it remind you of anything? Like what? Childhood? Were you playing with drones in your childhood?
No, like with the cars.
Right, cars. So this concept in general and this race was based on the old idea about racing and cars. So as you can see, drones, they fly forwards, backwards, left and right? 2 dimensions, but they also fly up and down. And the only element here is this one, which sort of brings the sport into 3 dimensions. But what the Drone Racing League in America is trying to do is actually playing with this 3rd dimension element and trying to bring the sport more to where it's supposed to be. Right, our part. You've probably seen something like this. And when I asked about drones at the beginning, you probably have seen something like this and thought of something like this. Beautiful drone shots, land scenery, nature, everything is perfect, and it's advertisements, and everything is nice to watch, right? Good quality, slow motion, and etc. etc. Have you ever seen what a drone pilot sees through the goggles they wear? The footage looks more like this. So this is the drone they are using to film this. But the drone footage looks more like this. The quality is low, the frame rate is low, they're static, etc. etc. So when we decided to work in this industry, this was one of our biggest challenges. How can we engage people in the sport with such a low quality idea? And the industry is moving towards digital, which means better quality with less latency, which is the biggest issue. So what we created and what we did during the summer, we came up with this simple formula. Let's show people, let's give them to try, then let's teach them how the sport works, and then let them advance themselves and ourselves with the racing. So what we came up with, we used aerial filming drones that have the good quality cameras and the good quality picture, and then we took the best what we could find from racing technology, which is this first-person view mask. And after the presentation, you can check it at the back if you're interested. We have it with us. So we're taking this aerial photography quality and bringing it together with drone racing technology, and this is what we did in the summer, and this is what we showed people. And apparently they're very interested. In the drone itself, most of the people in Liepāja have seen a drone, and it's usually this small thing, an annoying thing in the air. But we took it to the people, basically, where they can see, touch, and introduce themselves with the technology. Afterwards, once we spent the whole summer showing literally the people what the drone technology can do. We opened the drone arena here in Liepāja. It's at the planning stage. We were like so happy that it's gonna be the first one in the world, the first drone indoor drone arena. But approximately a month before us, DJI, which is the largest drone manufacturer in the world, they opened their own first indoor arena in South Korea. But we're the second one, and that's okay. We're the first in Europe, so it's all good. So basically, this is a drone arena where anybody that is interested in drones and the drone technology can come here and try themselves. What is it like to actually fly a drone? Of course, we're using small drones. So it's safe for all ages. Then after opening the arena, we're trying to move towards the next level, which is learning, teaching drone piloting skills specifically for racing. Here we have our youngest pilots. This kid here is 6 years old and he's 8 years old. And through specific tasks, they are learning all of the controls and then putting them together and trying to have the experience indoors. Now here, this is from the opening event, and for the opening event we actually invited one of the drone pilots here from Latvia, who also participates in events and races internationally. And this is what it looks like with a proper racing drone inside. As you can see, it basically looks like a trapped bee. It has no place to go, has no place to actually run up to its full speed. At the end of his little show, I asked how much throttle, how much acceleration you can give inside. He said no more than 13%. So this is our idea of what we want to do next. We want to take this indoor drone arena where anybody can come and learn the first piloting skills. Then we want to introduce more advanced, small-sized racing drones. But our biggest wish, what we have, is we want to organize our own event with full-scale drone racing pilots, and we think Liepāja as such, as a city, is a really great place because of buildings and structures like this. This is our heritage from the Soviet times when the manufacturing industry in Liepāja was booming. But now they're just standing empty and no one's using them for anything. And we have building structures like these where we could organize and easily adapt these places for drone racing purposes. But we also have places like these that are old factories that we could technically organize events also indoors throughout all seasons. So in general, this is like the whole picture, the whole idea in one picture. We're starting small with small racing drones, but we want to move big and move forwards with and push the drone racing industry also here in Latvia and the Northern Europe region. So in case you have any questions, I'm willing to answer any of them. Thank you. No questions?
Do a lot of people from other cities or countries come to your arena?
People from other cities. I don't think most people here in Liepāja actually know that we're opened. So that's one thing we're doing. We're trying to actually push out the news that we're open here. But we have people coming from other cities as well, and also from other countries, because we had journalists from Lithuania, from Klaipėda. They came here, told us about. Well, we introduced our drone arena to them, and they spread the news elsewhere. So yeah, slowly but steadily. Yes. Any other? Yep.
You mentioned that you want to make it more watchable for people.
Right. Yes.
What do you mean by that? Like only high quality video or something else?
First things first. Yes, I personally think that the racing events as such should have more. Should have better quality video for people to actually tune into what the pilot is seeing, and that's where the digital the digital industry the digital cameras and goggle technology is moving. If we're talking more watchable for people in this like American style entertainment show business, then one idea is to put in drone pilots into chairs or like moving simulators that actually mimic how the drone moves, and that will give both the viewers and the pilots more experience as if you would be actually on the aircraft. Any other questions?
While working in the arena, have you like developed your piloting skills enough to apply to Dubai's drone flying event?
To Dubai's. I have to say no, because as you saw, the top-notch drone racing drones, they don't have enough space in our arena. But I have developed my skills enough to confidently say that in the summer I can adjust my skills for the higher speeds, basically, and for the free flying event. But at the moment, I can't say that I can now participate in Dubai. No, this is the first step. Yeah. Actually, the pilot who won the $1 million in the Grand Prix, he's 15 years old.
Okay.
He's 15 and he's from UK, so everything's possible.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the people from Lebanon don't even know about
Mhm.
this. A lot of people. So I was wondering about the support you get, and I don't mean only the financial support, but living in Lebanon, which is a town,
Mhm.
European level, it's a town. Do you feel supported not only financially but also somehow energetically by the local people, or how do you feel to do thing like this in a city like this?
Right. First of all, as you said, it's a small town, but we have like a phenomena. It's a small town, but most people don't know we're here. So it's a big enough town for us to work every single day to tell people in different media that we're here and you can come and try. But talking about the support, people who are coming here to our arena, and people, especially people who come regularly, like families, the father and son type family time, they seem very supportive, and they come again and again, and some of them already bought their own drones and come with their own drones to arena, and also the people who participate in the training sessions. They also are very supportive, and they speak well of us. But this is, keep in mind, anybody who wants to start their own sort of small business. If you start a business in entertainment, you will have to work with marketing every single day, because it's not a necessity. So you have to market to people and tell about yourself every single day, just in case someone gets bored. And you, at that time when someone gets bored, it's that time when you have to tell them, come to our place, come to our offer, and spend your time here. Any other questions? No?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And the next speaker will be Elaine from Radi Vidi Pats, and it's Baltic Bike Festival.
So, if the drone speed is what, 170 kilometers per hour, do you know how fast can a freak bike go? Well, the freak bikes that we are building, we are happy if they move at all, actually. So, as you might guess, that the technological scope is not what I'm going to talk about, but social art maybe is the field that I will invite you to move right now in your heads. And I will try to find my YouTube presentation. .com. I will just put a background movie without the sound from the festival Baltic Bike that Anna mentioned. And I will just tell the story of it so you can have a double information. Wait, whoa. Yep, that's how we write it, because I will tell you about the organization and I hope slowly you can understand what we are doing. It will go on its own, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so Radi Vidi Pats, the name of our association, which is NGO, non-governmental, it means create the environment yourself. And we were founded 10 years ago by a bunch of local enthusiasts who wanted to give the local people more chance to go abroad in different international projects. And as the name can tell, eco lifestyle, alternative lifestyle, sustainability were the main principles that we were kind of holding on and developing. I joined Radi Vidi Pats 5 years ago when it was 5 years old. And it was known as a bunch of freaks, and that was also the attitude of the local community mostly. That's why I asked Robert about the support. Now when we are 10, almost 11 years old, we are still seen as a bunch of freaks, but at least nationally and sometimes even internationally acknowledged for the quality of our project. So what we do is we have different activities mainly for youngsters that are based on environmental education idea. We have upcycling workshops, loads of things about upcycling. And we are also participating a lot in Erasmus Plus projects. I hope you know what Erasmus Plus. We are sending a lot of youngsters abroad and hosting them. And somehow, very naturally, we met this concept of bike. Because around 5 years ago, we met a group from Riga, a group of enthusiasts, Apocalypse Jatnieki, the riders of Apocalypse. And they are freak bike masters. They build different bikes from basically anything, starting toasters and washing machines up to, you will see some examples here. And they really inspired us to do something similar in Liepāja, because nothing like that was happening here. And the thing that attracted us the most was not only the idea of having art in such a technical thing as a bike, not only that we can involve youngsters from very different backgrounds with this, but the fact that we could really bring the attention to topics that were important to us. Back then, it was the infrastructure of Liepāja. The bicycle routes were not really a normal thing here. The attitude of drivers is very awful. So we came to this idea of a Velo Culture Festival. We still present it as a culture festival, Velo Culture Festival, Baltic Bike. And the way how you spell the word is also how we do a lot of things. Back then, when we started this festival, we still had Environmental House, which was a very beautiful wooden house in Liepāja that we were when we had the money, we rented it. When we didn't have money, we squatted it. And at one point, the owners, which was bank back then, had enough with us squatting there. They kicked us out, and we were left without central point where to gather. And to different projects, we managed to open a self-service bicycle workshop. And the idea is you can come and repair your bicycle. There's no master, no one that can fix it for you, but there are people who can give you ideas. We have tools, and we have YouTube where you can find everything. And
So right now the festival has happened already 4 years, not in a row. We had a small break, and next spring it's going to be the 5th festival, so it's kind of anniversary. So we're thinking about how to improve it. And basically, it's a 1 week. We call it festival. Actually, it's not such a big event, but we like to think big. So it's a festival, at least for us. Anyone can come and participate for, I would say, very symbolic money. Last year it was 20 euros. Then we have a professional master. We invite this guy, Gatis Kreidsbergs, which is one of the best freak bike masters in the whole Europe. And he helps everyone who comes with their ideas, and they can draw whatever they want. And with the help of the master, you actually get what you have drawn, all these impossible things that the kids, and not only kids, are drawing. And every evening we have cultural program, mainly with local young bands, because we cannot afford to pay. We are NGO, we don't have regular incomes, we work only on projects. And as much money as we get, we try to be very creative and make our own program, cultural program. We have improvisation theater, we have the street, street
workout, gymnastics.
These guys that you just saw. And concerts, and we involve volunteers from abroad that we have. They also made this movie, by the way. And so from one point it's very intercultural, because there are usually loads of different languages around. It's also culture because of the evening program. It's also, you can gain loads of skills if you come during the day to build the bikes, and also the nights, because mostly the building happens on the night before the parade, basically all night long. And because of this, we really started to go also in the social field, because there were kids that don't go with the youngsters, that they don't really go to the local youth house, because it's very nice, but they don't feel very not safe, not accepted, but they just don't feel to go to such a nice place like this. But our basement, which is rough, with no heating system, with no water, no running water, no toilet, no nothing, that's the place where they feel really safe. So we started to develop social projects to include them, to try to teach them different skills, to show that you can live also a bit differently than they live until now. And with ups and downs, we did it for a while, but now we decided that we are going out of social field and stick to the environment, which is our basic idea. But the festival is still going on, and whatever it brings as a bonus for our basic ideas, we are open. And last year we actually tried to kind of change the festival as well a bit. So last year we gave a topic like animals. So we were also having like mask workshops, so kids can come. No kids came. And we wanted to make also like little bikes into animals, because year before we had a really cool idea. You said papier-mâché Bambi bike. It's a real bike. It really moves. I love it. So we wanted families come and make these bikes for the kids. No family came as well. So I really agree with the marketing. It's thing you don't need to do only every day, but every hour or so. And this year we still don't know what to do, so we are completely open for any ideas. If you have some ideas, we wanted to make a freak bike gathering, but maybe it's a bit too big for the finances that we usually get. I hear also some shots from Riga, so don't think Liepaja is so big and diverse. Yeah, that's basically it about the festival. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Or if you don't have any questions, yeah, you can look up Baltic Bike with the spelling. You can see videos from all of the years and also photographies. There's special page on Facebook that our volunteers wanted to make, and when they left the country, I have no idea what to do with this page, but it's still there with loads of pictures and then cool ideas. What I also like, we kind of started to make a small community, because these people keep on coming back every year. They don't always make a bike, but they're around, at least either helping, either just coming as consumers to the festivals. And I didn't mention yet that in end of this week of building, we have parade, which is very important, because whatever you do, you always need to celebrate. There's no point of doing anything without celebration. And we have this parade, which is very, very positive event. It's like you can't believe, like in the street where hardly see smiling people. In this event, you look around, you just see people really amazed, and that's also some kind of reward. Most of the things happen voluntarily. This is Gatti Skatesberg, the master, by the way, as you can guess. Most of the things happen voluntarily. We don't get salaries for doing this. Maybe that's why it's sometimes very challenging to put new energy in a new year. But when you look back at these events, and when you see some not really street kids, let's say, but young people from social houses who still keep, and they ask, is anything going to happen? It's kind of, okay, we should move our asses and do it again. So 2nd week of May, welcome. Come build, come celebrate, come watch concerts. Yes.
Have you thought about hooking into like the bike sports scene? I don't know if it's a thing here, like bike polo or something like that, and doing something around maybe having like a tournament as well, and to have like more people that are interested in bikes in other ways coming.
I
don't know.
haven't heard of much bike polo going on around, but what we did, also because of Gatti Skatesberg, the master, he creates bike wars. Do you know bike wars? You build bike wars. Basically, it's a bike. It still has to work without any motor, only with human powers, and you cannot step on the ground. That's the only rule. So they make arena. They put all these bikes that the different people bring together, and then they just crash into each other and try to smash and destroy the thing.
It sounds a bit like when you start playing bike polo.
Ah, okay. So we did a kind of pilot event this year, and the people who built the bikes were the only participants, basically, but it was also bad management from our side. I think this is a thing that might grow, because it's very attractive. I don't know why people like to watch other people smashing things. It's very, very attractive. So we might do something also with this, maybe united with also the Baltic Bike Festival. We'll see. Bike polo. Yeah, we might check it. Beach polo. Bikes in the sand. Amazing idea. Yes.
Describe your favorite free bike.
My favorite free bike, the one that you saw, the swing. Because it's the easiest, and when you fall, you don't have far to fall. I also love the high bikes, the tall bikes, because they just look amazing. They really look amazing, but I have problems with getting up and down, and mostly down, so I prefer lower bikes. But we have like bikes. Another really cool bike that we built last time, it's a tandem. You know, tandem for two people, but one person is sitting like this, another person sitting like this, so you actually can talk while you're riding, and you have little table in between or something. And the greatest thing is that you cycle normally, because the chain is made like a 8. So you cycle normally, you don't need to cycle backwards or something, and it's one of the most stable bikes I have, freak bikes I have ever ridden. I don't know how long people not from Liepāja are in Liepāja, but you can also come to a workshop and try. In winter we are a bit more quiet, so we are not open regularly, but I can leave the contacts and later you can come and try all the bikes that moves.
One question. Have you tried like also make autonomous bikes, with like ships? There are some, you have a big beach here with windy and stuff, like, bikes that move by themselves? With wind screens or whatever?
Yeah, there was one guy who came with this idea and even sketches, and he was a seaman, a professional seaman, Unix seaman. Okay, you guess, you can get what he was, but he disappeared with the whole idea, and as I told you, we do it voluntarily. It's not our basic job, so and it's a big project. It's really big project. So every time an enthusiast comes and he's the one who moves, we go with it. but this guy disappeared somewhere. But yeah, I think we haven't used the all potential of Liepāja, because I see freak bike such a perfect symbol of Liepāja, because Liepāja is a city of freaks, and I'm not original from here. And when I came here, that's what I saw. That's what I still see, and I love this art, industrial field, the potential which is killed by not support enough, and that's basically what a freak bike is, you know. And I love the idea. Well, if you have any questions, you can find Radividi Pats or Baltic Bike or me, and then continue.
Next speaker will be Paula Vitola, who will tell about Sound Art Festival Sound Days in Liepāja.
In a second. Just a second.
Nē, tev jāapsver ir vienkārši
No.
tie krustiņi, tur ir var uzlikt.
Ko?
Tur blakus viņam, jā.
Šitais te? Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, so the Sound Days is an event which also takes place in Liepāja and in May, but the last week of May. And yeah, it started a few years ago. This was the 4th year, and it started as just an exam for our students, as an exam for the sound module, where they presented their works, and in the end they did a performance. It was one day, and it was organized by Artis, who is also one of the workshop teachers here now. But now the event has kind of grown into a way bigger event, and this year it was our first try to do it internationally, because one of our teachers here is from Canada, and in January we were like, oh yeah, you could bring your students, and he was like, okay, I could. So then they came, a whole bunch of Canadians came here, and it went really well with them, I think. And yes, and so we have like a bit similar structures here. We have workshops, exhibition, a seminar, and some concerts, more emphasis on concerts, and also a day for children. So yes, this year we had 3 workshops, all held by teachers from here, which are also our students or graduates. We had a visual making workshop with Anna, sound narrative storytelling workshop with Dirts, and also circuit bending workshop, which was quite fun. And an exhibition, which is a bit different from our exhibition here, because it doesn't only consist of results of the workshops has been done, but also just sound works that has been done before by the participants of the festival. So you can here it's mostly our students who, in the end of their module, they finish their pieces, and then we set them up in exhibition. And this year it was also with the Canadian students and with their works, which are hard to show in pictures because they are sound works mostly, so installations with sound, so nothing much to see there though. And yes, and we have seminar, which is basic artist talk format, with a few keynote speakers that gives longer talks about stuff they do, and also an open artist talk event, which are short presentations by anyone who wants to tell what they do with sound. So the goal of this is to bring together young and aspiring sound artists and musicians and people who are just interested in it with the professional ones, because those I don't know, it's just like kind of young sound artists don't know how to get their word out and so on. So here are their chance, because we also bring a lot of fresh, not a lot, but some professionals, sound artists from the country, and maybe in the future also from other countries. And also we have this performance night called N times 20, which is a completely open performance night, so anyone can apply any type of performance, which goes exactly for 20 minutes, and that's it. And so, but you can do like almost anything any kind of performance, which could be electronic, could not be electronic, could be some sort of other weird experimental. There is no limits in the format. And also we have the big concert, which are the artists we invite. There's a lineup, and yes, we do that. So yeah. And also a sound Saturday for children, where we invite children to play with whatever we had there. That's how it happened. It wasn't really planned, because they're children. They were like really excited just to play with instruments, so they did a jam. And and after the sound days in Liepaja, which takes place in May, in this year and some years before, we also did an event in Riga, which is like more specific, like the exhibition, which is the one in May is like a little bit smaller with a lot of works, and the one in Riga we make like more serious and just a serious sound art exhibition. And also a performance night. But yes, I think it will be better if I will just show the video of the performances. The first ones will be from the concert N times 20, and then it will gradually go to the second concert. Yes, the kids gave us one of the best performances actually. And yeah, I don't know what else I could say to you except that the whole week, it was almost a week, was more or less fun, which is good. And probably, not probably, but definitely, I think. Okay, I will tell you when the next event is coming, and you will be also all invited to participate in this. Any questions?
You said that the event in Riga was more serious.
The exhibition part. There we focus. Here we focus on just spending a good week and learning a lot of things, and yes, and the part in Riga is where we have whole summer to finish our works to make it look good for the exhibition, and then make this real exhibition. That's what I meant. Okay, thank you.
And now hopefully we'll have another office talk by
Yes.
Juan and
Patrick, but I think he left me alone.
Just run away.
Just ran away. Yeah, it ran away. So, probably talk a little. Can I talk with you? No. So, hello, and I'm Juan from Benoit and the Mandelbrot, and very thankful for the invitation coming here. It's been a very nice time. So, we, the Mandelbrot, we are 4 people. What? Yeah. Oh, that's good. We are 4 guys that gather around and want to play electronic music with just a laptop, no interfaces, no other stuff, like use the guitar, the computer as if it was a guitar. Just take it and meet up in a basement and make some beats, make some noise, make some drones, whatever we wanted. So this is when we came to live coding. I have been in a band before with Patrick, which now appears. Yeah. So I can tell a little bit about the background. We started like studying music informatics in 2005, and then we wanted to start a band, and we did it. It was called Grain Phase, and we used all kind of stuff that we could use, MIDI guitars, all the things, Wii controllers, and of course a lot of granular synthesis, which was overused at that time. Still it might be. And after all this, like going to concerts with a lot of gear, and it doesn't work, or you have to turn it off and on again, we went into this live coding thing, which was just like using the programming language as an interface, like not using knobs and sliders, just like tell the program what to do. So we got into this inspired by other people, and it's a very, at that time it wasn't very explored. There was just a bunch of people doing this, and well, anyway, we gathered up with Holger and Matthias, who is not here, and we started like jamming every week, sometimes 2 times a week, practice. Because if you just think about it, like people practice violin or whatever, maybe 5 hours a day for years and years to get good, and you are usually on your computer. Well, maybe you watch YouTube videos 8 hours a day, but really practicing and making music with that, maybe you just spend 1 or 2 hours, and not even every day. So we wanted to practice. We made a library where we can synchronize and like share some stuff with each other to have like a general networking layer for us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play tomorrow. So Patrick, you have some stuff prepared?
I'm not really. I think you already said most. I can tell a story about how once, before a show, I went to the bathroom and then the door didn't open. That's also interesting. Remind me a bit about this. So I can show you some pictures of how it looks, but I think Juan said most of it. So this is a like a classical performance situation with the four of us. Matthias is not here, so don't look at him. And I think tomorrow it will look similar, yes. We always project our screens so that people can read the code and can follow it if they want, or just that they see that we are not reading our emails. So to give all of it a bit transparency, and this is of course also a bit of an open source ideology that people could learn from us, from our videos, and see what we're doing. Exactly, yeah, and we're sitting there, we're sometimes wearing black, and so on. And yeah, this is like a more formal concert situation here, but when we started, we also wanted to venture into different kind of things. I don't know, did you talk that we met at university? Yeah, we met at the university, and so there was like academic music. And so like it was all these experimental concerts, and you go there and you do your things, and people like it
or not.
Or not, yes, but basically
But everybody says they like it.
Yeah, that is the thing. You're kind of like in a bit of a safe haven, kind of. But what does the regular guy think about it? So this was also a bit like our goal to bring it more in Karlsruhe, in our hometown, into the public. So we played in weird situations, in weird places. For example, here we play in a foyer in a bank without the screens. I think this is one of my top 3 weird performance setups. It was some what was it?
There was this WikiLeaks guy giving
Yeah.
a talk, and then we should play something before he comes. So we were around in a bank, and we put the loudspeakers everywhere and just played some ambient music for half an hour.
And I think it was very weird because I think nobody really understood what we're doing. Which is also why we didn't have the projection here, so people really didn't see what we're doing. Just some guys sitting on the furniture,
in black,
writing emails and listening to Winamp. Yeah, and like here's another example of us playing in a church where we have our loudspeakers here on the altar. And this was like with candles, of course. And this was like also like different kind of performance situation because it was not like a concert performance. It was more like installation. We played for 2 hours, I think, and people
almost 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours, and people didn't stay there for all the time. They just went in there. They thought, oh, that's weird, or that's nice, and so they stayed or just went out. And
the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. So, but this was also very interesting, also because it was like in a public space and also in a different space than the usual environments. And yeah, and so we did a lot of different things. Like Juan already told you about our approach, probably that we're improvising, that we usually start from scratch, and that we're doing a performance in a musical genre where it fits the, let's say, the venue or the concept. But we also did other things. For example, here we had like an audiovisual show with a really large projector. I don't know if you see it, but this is me. So it was quite large, and it was also like at the city anniversary of Karlsruhe. So also opportunity to show like normal people, or like people who are not so much into experimental art, maybe.
It was like
experimental
maybe
things.
3,000 people or something.
Probably less after the horse.
Yeah. There was an awful show before that. And this is a picture of us playing in a cinema, in a nice cinema in Karlsruhe, where we did also with all this coding approach a score for a silent movie for Dr. Mabuse Teil 2. And so also to give you some impression, let's just jump into that. See if it's... Yeah. Oh yeah, here it's... Even though that's a weird part.
Ich glaube, er macht jetzt gleich 5 Sekunden.
maybe a quick jump into a different section. Here. More action, yeah.
Well, also the explosions, it's not, I mean, it's algorithmically random. Sometimes you see the explosion and hear it and you think it's synchronized, but no, it's everything random.
Yeah, and so we did like also experiment with different performance settings, like we played with traditional instrumentalists, for example, like where we had improvisations, or like this Debrots in Demand with a drummer and played like Doom.
Yeah, with guitar amps.
Through guitar amplifiers,
connect the laptop directly to the guitar amp and treat it like a real electric guitar. And yeah, we did some stuff like that. We tried to take this live coding idea to everywhere we like, or everywhere we wanted, from ambient noise, rock, and music for cinemas or whatever. And one of the new trends is this algorave thingy. I don't know if you've seen something about that, but Patrick organizes.
Patrick organizes some also in Karlsruhe, and it's like originated mostly in the UK, and they organize parties, or we organize parties, where live coding artists perform and also bring this experimental computer music, which originated like in the conservatories, music conservatories mostly, more also into like techno clubs, and also show the screens to also highlight the algorithmic nature of the music. Also like a quick excerpt from our performance in Karlsruhe last year. Yeah, and I think we wanted to show this example because it will sound totally different tomorrow. So tomorrow, like in a nice concert hall, we will try to make like a nice noisy, droney, avant-garde improvisation. Let's see how that happens. So don't bring your dancing shoes. So this year, like, let's say like one of our latest achievements as a band is this vinyl record, which includes improvisation of ours. Like we improvised for 9 hours in a studio and then selected parts that we liked and did some mixing and some mastering. And I invite you all, if you like the concert tomorrow, to if you're into vinyl, we brought some. You can also buy them online, or you can also like listen to it online, or buy it online, or whatever,
or download it illegally,
make a torrent, and so on. Yeah. So I hope you're all coming to the concert tomorrow, and if you have questions afterwards, just ask us. And yeah, so have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick and Jan. Questions?
Oh yeah.
No?
I can stay here for questions.
There is a question.
Yes?
You're 4 people in the band. How do you divide roles? I don't know. You all play together, or you just...
Yeah, we tried some different approach. Like in the church, for example, everybody was playing on everybody's computer and everybody's loudspeakers. So we didn't care where the sound comes from. If you want the sound from the altar, you play on Patrick's computer. If you want the sound from the side, you play on my computer. So we're networked, so we can do whatever we want. But our usual performances is like, we didn't want it to do it this democratically every time. We wanted to do it more like, yeah, you have your computer, you have your instrument, you play your stuff. We're all in sync. And usually we chat a lot
or sometimes like I'm tired of doing the bass line. Can you do something else? I want to do something else, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So we make kind of a transition. So it's kind of democratic too, but we just speak and rule this out in the concert. We don't have roles. Usually the role, my role is to be loud, but that's not, that's my self-imposed role. The other roles, Holger makes some noisy stuff, Patrick usually makes some rhythmic stuff, but it's not bound to that. We change, and we don't like somebody messing around with your code. There's some other systems where you can really like change each other's stuff. Yeah, you have your instrument, you play on it, we play together, and then we just talk about it. If we don't like it, we try to go in another direction. If it starts to sound boring, or if they think my bass is too loud, and we just talk about it, discuss it, and yeah, you will see some chatting tomorrow probably. Yeah. Any further questions?
What's happening with the videos? It's not just the screen, there's some flickering.
Yeah, well, we thought it's cool with the flickering. Well, we tried with that a lot. We have been playing for over 7 years now. I don't know, 6 maybe. Yeah, last year it was like our 5th year, and we did a 24-hour. Yeah?
It was the year before, actually.
Yes, yeah, so we're 7 years. Oh God, time passes. In the beginning, we didn't even have screens. We didn't have any synchronization. It was just like improvising. And then we started projecting their screens. The thing is, like, we are 4. Usually the live coders is only somebody alone, so you just project your screen. That's easy. We tried first like dividing the screen into 4, so you see parallel all what everybody's doing, but you can't read anything. So you can't read nothing. Because it's too small. So then the next approach was to switch the screens. Like we make screen sharing, and there's one computer taking the video stream of all the computers and just switching every 20 seconds. And then Patrick, which is the visuals guy, I told him like, yeah, can you make some shit happen around, not only the screens? And he made like this patterns moving around, and
that never changed since 5 years.
Yeah. So it replaced like the black background of our things, but it leaves all the code untouched. It's only like the black background. It's going to be replaced by this visuals that it's not live coded or something. It's just our style.
It's not even reacting to the music. It's really just
flickering
like a wallpaper.
Yeah, so you don't get bored. If you hate the code and hate the music, you can look at the funny visuals. Yeah.
I guess there are no questions left.
That's probably good.
There'll be more after tomorrow's concert.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for your attention. And you're all invited to tomorrow's concert in the funny concert hall Great Amber at 8 o'clock, I think.
Yes.
8 p.m. And Mandelbrot will be playing there, and Trichers and Old Hasners and other names you maybe welcome, you maybe heard, maybe not, but it will be interesting, and come see you yourselves. So, thank you.
I love those integration loops. Of my favorite.
Yep. I really like the video. You know, you like Cascade? You don't know it?
No, I only know this integration loops. I just knew him like 1 year ago or something, and I don't have much time to explore new.
It's really, this one's really loopy, like this, it's kind of like disintegration loops. And I haven't really, have you actually explored how he makes his music?
I know how disintegration loops works, but I don't know much other works from him. The decaying tapes.
That's really nice. You can actually, you sort of can hear the loop, but you cannot hear the